Hey guys, this is video number 11. Actually, pretty long. We're gonna wrap up soon. On the Supreme Court ruling on the Michael and Thomas Connelly's brothers on the case. I want to summarize what is the lesson that to be learned from this case. This obviously is a very high-profile case, right? Although it doesn't seem to be many people are aware of that. Everybody's talk about the abortion issues, the highly politically loaded issues, but not on this one. I think the lesson that here is one of the lessons at least is that the American financial illiteracy. There's no denial on that. Financial illiteracy means that a lot of people, for ordinary people, probably they don't know much about financial issues. Okay, and then so there's one theory that I heard that. I think I don't remember who said that, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the justice in the Supreme Court. I think the justice says that this country has too many laws. With all the real respect, I really think that's a defeatist thinking because, this country need as many laws as we need. Obviously, we don't want to overblow it, right? But look on China. China basically they have very few laws, and if there's a new laws, then most likely it's politically loaded. They use the laws, as a political weapon to govern the society. So that's not the way it is. If you really make the legal branch of government independent of executive branch, you really need to have as many as needed laws with a detailed uh, specifications. So that's what the solution to having too many laws is that generative AI, because quickly in the future that we can help the ordinary citizens quickly find which laws are relevant, which laws are look out for, and which laws are missing that we need to work on this later. So this is the real solutions, effective solutions to solve all the problems, solve all the so-called having too many laws problem. Okay, and then sometimes the financial illiteracy translated that to legal illiteracy when it comes to financial issues. I mean, if this country has so many lawyers, it's crazy, right? And you would think that the legal issue is never an issue. But it's not always true. Let me give you a good example. I wrote a blog 2 years ago, I think 2022, when I first read the report by New York Post, which is not a very reliable, very conservative newspaper. But I saw this morning, more recently, yesterday, I believe, that the CNN has another report that the first dogs, um, we had a first dog called Major Biden, and then now there's another one, Commander Biden. Okay, they have a multiple bite. It's more than 20%, more than 25 bites for the Secret Service and for the other staff members. That's really I'm very disappointed by the Biden's family, by the first family. You know, having one bite, occasional one bite, it's okay, right? Even though that it's not to be overlooked. But having 24 bites, that's a textbook example of negligence. You know, if a Biden is a ordinary citizen, the people should, you know, suit him in a lawsuit. I have nothing personal against Biden, but I'm just saying that, we should, when it comes to human right, everybody is the right to be protected from the dog bite. And the dog bite is one of the, homeowner insurance policies, right? So let's look at this case. What else kind of surprised me is the case that we have some Secret Service or agent, was who were thinking about maybe asking Biden's to personally pay for the bite, because especially there's a coat that involved. Now that's like about $500, a pretty expensive coat, and that was damaged by the dogs. And then that's again that's one thing that it's very important to know that homeowner insurance policies usually cover it's almost always case regardless which jurisdictions you know you are located in. The homeowner insurance policy typically will cover damages and injuries to guests, even to trespassing, to somebody who trespassing, although the compensation or the amount will be different. But in this case, this Secret Service or agent, they are working for the White House. They are not hired by Biden family personally. They are hired by the U.S. government, right? So in this case, number one, you could ask for Biden's to his homeowner insurance policy should cover that. But if not, we have a federal employee workers' compensation, workers, those kind of the work compensation. It's actually more general. Usually, you can, asking for the, compensation within 3 years after incidents happen. And because the federal government is a deep pocket, so um, the uh, uh, the compensation is actually better off. But as a gesture, a personal gesture would show Biden is really a nice guy, and his wife to personally, get some money from his homeowner policy to compensate the agent. That should be the nicest thing to do. I mean, Biden has a reputation to be a nice guy, but to having that same dog bite happens 24 times repeatedly, that's almost a crime. I mean, I really hope that somebody sued him. Again, I have nothing personal against him, but to teach him a lesson, respect the people working for him, to protect the human right, really he needs to be in the court and to be suited by the employees. Okay, so that's just another issue. That anything that related to finance issues, even if this is law, and then we can we sometimes Americans don't find the best way of solving the problems. Another example is that the assassination of CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson, right, in New York, and the broad sunlight. That's definitely a crime, right? But here is one thing that sometimes we don't learn the right lesson. I was watching the news from this morning. I think the CNN interview, like Kevin O'Leary, one of the hosts of a Shark Tank. He made a very good point. He says that for the CEOs in the healthcare industry to asking for more security guard, that's a wrong answer. You have to find out the problem. You have to acknowledge the problem, and then you find out the more solutions and the better solutions, and to better serve people, policyholders. So these are just a few cases that I want to talk about. So let's stop here.